What is going on out there, peeps? All right, from time to time, I will come across an article and go, "Ooh, this does." Somebody say, "Does this, Pimpy? Does this look like NESARA GESARA?" And I go, "It kind of does, actually, to be honest with you." But again, whether you want to call it NESARA GESARA or just a coincidence that whatever is happening in that article does line up with NESARA GESARA. But I tell people, don't get stuck on the name NESARA GESARA. Remember, the items that are on the list is what we really care about. Now, this is very interesting. I'm going to be honest. So, as you guys know, back in 2008, when the economy crashed, crashed, there was a bubble, the too big to fail banks, and then we did a bailout. Well, some countries handled theirs a little bit different than we did. And when you see what they're doing, you'll understand why. It does seem to appear like something that's NESARA GESARA. You'll see. If you guys think about buying gold and silver, check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you who are asking for my address, there you go. And you guys know I have this alternative platform. There's some great new videos that are on there posted. I think you guys will really enjoy them. I am going to go ahead and start filming, doing my own documentary. So I'm looking forward to doing that. There's a lot of information I've been gathering to do it. So I'm putting together a team with me, and we're going to definitely make it happen. You guys know we got Pimpy's Investment Chat, same name as the YouTube channel. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come over here and join us. It's free to do so. Now, refreshing and looking at the markets. Yesterday was kind of crazy. I mean, gold and silver looks like it's still creeping up, but then, it creeped up and then came down a little bit. So although it is above 1800, that's where we want it to be. Silver was down there at 27, took a big old dip, then back up to near 27, and then came back down, not below 26 this time, which is interesting. So if you look at the crazy chart, yeah, I don't know, man. This is like, this is like some crazy stuff right here. This is within 24 hours. So it started to run up again, and then for some reason, as usual, certain time of the day, well, this day, it was around 10, where boom, goes down, and then all of a sudden, boom, went right back up. Not sure what the hell is going on. Again, we think they're just cleaning house. Right here, you can see this. When you look at it by hour, you can see the dramatic drop. Look at this. 27.78. No, my bad. That was back in June. Let's get caught up here. There we go, June 6th. You can see that was yesterday. You can see here it was, where we at here? 26.77. And then all of a sudden, a couple hours later, it's like lost 77 damn cents. Went up in the nighttime, and by morning it dropped back down. Really crazy looking. So it's almost like it's up for overseas, but down for here. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of it, but you can see overall, again, we just think there's some contracts cleaning up. So we're at the end of the first week of July. I said give it a couple weeks, let them clean house, and then we'll see what happens from there. But you can see right here, man, they're just killing the price here. Once, and twice, and again. So, yeah, very interesting. I was watching it. I was all happy on, Sunday night or Monday night? That sucker was rolling. Cryptocurrencies, I don't know what's going on with you guys. You guys, this seems to almost, if I'm not mistaken, if you look at that whack-off chart, remember it shows you one way, and it did follow the chart to the T. But there's a second chart that goes next to it. And the second chart is when it goes back up. This would be considered the accumulation stage. So as you watch it, and I said if this continues to run horizontal for a while, that might be what it is. Now they're making every excuse in the news about why cryptos are where they are. But keep in mind, the mining equipment has been shipped over here. I'm not sure if it's here yet or not. But there's not. Everybody is taking a wild guess as to what's going on. Like I said, my plan is to stick predominantly to gold and silver, but I will, share 10% of my monthly earnings and just spread it between Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's no other cryptos I'm going to go with. I'm going to give a rat's ass what you hear about XRP or anything else. I think if everybody did stick to just the two and the gold and silver, you could take control back. The problem is too many people have their own favorite cryptos, like I talked about in the video. And, everybody wants to jump on something and get rich when instead of just taking control of your financial system. So anyways, this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So when I was going over this with somebody, I said, it does give that appearance. Every Icelander to get paid in a bank sale, 26 bankers were put behind bars. See, this is how other countries deal with their manipulating, fraudulent bankers. Some countries, they hang them. Us, we reward them. So, it said here, if Finance Minister Bjorn Borgen, I don't know how to say it, but anyways, has his way, and like he will, and actually I looked it up, they did get paid. Islanders would get paid $30,000 after the government takes over ownership of the bank. The island banking would be second of the three largest banks under state proprietorship. So basically the citizens rose up and said, we're done. They changed the government and they took control of their banks. Literally did that. It says, I am saying that the government take some decided portion, 5%, and simply hand it over to the people of this country. See, that's a government that's looking after the people and not controlled by a corrupt bankers. It says because Icelanders took control of their government, and they are now another country is booted out of the Rothschild banking system. So you're seeing more and more countries going, you know what? Yeah, we're not dealing with you. You guys are too corrupt. It says because Icelanders took control of their government, they effectively owned the banks. Banking Concern believes this will bring foreign capital into the country and ultimately fuel the economy, which incidentally remains the only European nation to recover from back in 2008's episode, the 2008 crisis. Iceland even managed to pay its outstanding debt to the IMF in full in advance of the due date. Borgenson, Budget Committee Vice Chairperson, because we're politically correct, explained the move would facilitate the lifting of the capital controls. Though he wasn't convinced state ownership would be the ideal situation, former Finance Minister Ferguson sided with Bordenson, telling a radio station, we shouldn't lose the banks to the hands of the fools, and that Iceland would benefit from a shift in focus to separate commercial banking from investment banking. Plans haven't yet been firmly set for when the takeover and subsequent payments to every person in the country will occur. So when it was, we're going over this, yeah, I mean, if you think about, again, if you think about what they're saying in there, yeah, it's a form of it, but I'm not going to tell you that it is or isn't NESARA GESARA because as we understand it, it's for everybody everywhere. So is this, you could call it what you want, but you should be focusing on what matters the most. The fact that they took control of their government, they took control of their bank, they took 5% of the money, and gave their people $30,000 a pop. Nice. Now, that's not like what we hear about NESARA GESARA, where everything is paid off, and you get $6,700 trillion in your bank. No, but it is interesting to hear this. You know what I mean? So, anyways, it says, plans haven't yet been firmly set for when the takeover and subsequent payments to every person in the country will occur. But Iceland's revolutionary approach to dealing with the international financial meltdown of the 2008 crisis certainly deserves every bit of attention it garnered. Yes, it does. Iceland recently jailed 26, it's 26 banker. Yeah. Do you know the corrupt people? With 74 years of prison time amongst them for causing the financial chaos. Meanwhile, the U.S. banking criminals were rewarded for their fraud and market manipulation with an enormous bailout at the taxpayers' expense. Because you know what? We love our politicians bending us over and giving it to us good. We absolutely love it. We bitch about it, but nobody ever does anything about it. So look at, we should take note here and see what they did. They took back control of their government, and they took back control of their banks and threw the corrupt people into prison, and then gave money to the citizens. That's what I'm talking about. So look at this right here. Iceland sends another Rothschild banker to prison for market manipulation. They're all peas in the same pod. We know this. They're all corrupt. But over here, like this article says, they absolutely, positively reward their bankers. Nobody from the 2008 crisis went to jail. Not a single person. So, I think it's time for us to take notes and pay attention to what Iceland did. I don't know about you. I can use an extra $30,000 in my bank. What about you? No? Anyway, so when you look at this, my thing is when I talk about this NESARA, GESARA, I went down the list of items. And I said, look, I'm only going to talk about the things that I could prove. I tried my hardest to try to see what I could do about proving this QFS system. There are some things lined up. When it comes to people's schedules, it's often hit and miss. But when I see something like this, everybody goes, is this NESARA, GESARA? I go, again, not everything is NESARA, GESARA. But, I mean, I get why you think that, because that's really impressive. But stop focusing on the name NESARA, GESARA. It's like when we talk about the Iraq dinar or the Vietnam dong, everybody's waiting for the RIRV. I go, but there's other things that can happen. Is it NESARA, GESARA? I don't think so, but it could be. But you should focus on the bigger point that the people took back control of their government. They took back control of their banks, and they paid their citizens $30,000 each, every single person. Now, I'm not sure how many people are populating the island of Iceland. There could be like 10 people, so it sounds like a lot, but they're not. I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you. I guess I should have looked it up. But that's not the point. The point is, when the people rise up and they get taught, people are tired of the BS and they rise up, and they do something about it, and they unify, and they stop allowing division, great things happen. So, congrats to Iceland, getting rid of the Rothschild Bank, throwing the corrupt people in prison, and being good enough to at least return 5% of the money at $30,000 a pop. You guys let me know what you think. Does that seem like NESARA, GESARA to you? And should we just be focusing on calling it NESARA, GESARA? Can it just be we focus on what was important? The grabbing back control of your government as well as your banking system, kicking out the criminals, throwing them in prison, and then saying to your citizens, look, I understand we all suffered from the crisis back in 2008, but I'm going to give you at least $30,000 to say, hey, sorry, but now we're doing something about it. You guys let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.